Good evening! I'm here to show you how to put together a clarinet. Now, when you put the clarinet on the table, you want to make sure that the bottom half of the case is bigger than the top half of the case. This is how you know that you put it down correctly. Also, there might be a little symbol right there letting you know that you have it correct. Now here we open the hinges and then open up the case to reveal the clarinet! And now I'm going to show you the different parts of the clarinet, starting with the bell. This is the bell, which attaches to the lower joint. And there's the upper joint, which attaches to the barrel, and ultimately the mouthpiece. Here we have some reeds. With the reeds also comes with cork grease. You put the cork grease on to make sure that the clarinet assembles easily, and then after playing you use this swab to clean it out. Now that you know all the parts of the clarinet, I'm going to show you how to put it together. But first, you want to let your reeds soak in your mouth. Now, when assembling the clarinet, you want to start with the bottom up, so we start with the bell. Now, you take the lower joint, and you put the fleshy part of your hand on the part of the lower joint where there is no keys. And then, wiggle, 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 put it onto the bell. Now for the upper joint. You take the upper joint and you'll notice that there is something called the D-ring key right here. When you engage that D-ring key, this part right here pops up so you can join the upper and the lower joint properly. That is called the bridge key. Now, to join the upper and the lower joints, hold the fleshy part of your hand on the lower joint and engage the D-ring key and wiggle, 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 and then line up the bridge keys so you have a perfectly straight and aligned clarinet. Now it's time to put on the mouthpiece. Take the mouthpiece out and remove the cap, like so. Take the ligature off by untightening the screws. This ligature holds the reed to the mouthpiece. So you slip it off like this, and then you can finally take the barrel and, same idea, join the mouthpiece to the barrel using tiny wiggles. Wiggle, 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 yeah! And now we are going to join the reed to the mouthpiece. Put the mouthpiece down and take the reed out of your mouth. For this purpose, I will just be using a fresh reed, but you want to use the one that has been soaking in your mouth. Now, we take the loosened ligature and slip it onto the mouthpiece, but don't slip it on all the way. Now, parallel to the ground, you want to slip the reed under the ligature and then align it with the mouthpiece. Now, once you have slipped the reed under the ligature onto the mouthpiece, you want to pull the ligature down and to the proper position and align it. Tighten the screws, and then make sure that there's enough room where you can still see that line. And now, you should see a sliver of the mouthpiece on the front, and then a sliver of the reed on the back. That is how you know you've put the reed onto the mouthpiece successfully. And now for the final step, the step we've all been waiting for, you join the mouthpiece and the barrel to the clarinet. Put the fleshy part of your hand on the part with no keys, and wiggle, 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 yeah! Wiggle, 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 yeah! And align the reed so that it is parallel with the A key. And now, your clarinet is ready to play! For disassembly, you want to do all these steps in the opposite order. So put your hand on the barrel and untwist. And now, same thing with the upper joint, fleshy part of the hand, right here. Engage the D-ring key and untwist right there, and put it back in the proper position in its case. Same thing with the lower joint, fleshy part of the hand, unwiggle, and now you separated the bell from the lower joint. Put the bell and the lower joint back in its case, and then take the mouthpiece and unscrew the ligature. Take the ligature off, and then place the reed back into its reed case where it first came from, and put that reed case safely back into the case. As for the mouthpiece, wiggle wiggle wiggle, put the barrel back, ligature back on the mouthpiece, tighten it so it doesn't fall around, and then cap back on the mouthpiece, back in the case, and you're done! Finally, we can close the case. Place the lid like this, tighten the buckles, and you're good to go.